The situation in which we found ourselves still offers no light at the end of the tunnel, sadly. We are faced with at least 4 more weeks through which we cannot gather, with no real certainty beyond the end of August. I've been reflecting how different the experience this year has been to that of last year. In 2020, there was something shocking about going into lockdown. It was novel, it was stark. I think we took the opportunity with special engagement. We reflected on our moment in history, and some of those reflections were quite profound. But this time around, the mood is entirely different. It's marked by tiredness, resentment, even anger, as we saw on the streets last weekend. We have the sense of how we might get to the other side of things, but the variables that will contribute to this are fragile and in delicate balance. We're both more aware and frustrated at the same time. I have every sense that what we are now going through is more difficult for people than last time. There are a few things that I'd like to speak into this. Yes, the current situation is difficult. We don't need to pretend it to be otherwise. However, it's so important that we seek the opportunity that this period is giving us. What is the invitation of this period to me personally, uniquely? What is the possibility of this period that life ordinarily would not give me? We need to reflect on this, to be conscious of it, to name it, to remain faithful to it. In other words, we need to make this period work for us, not against us. Secondly, let's use this time for a little more interiority. Let's come home to ourselves, spending a little more time reading, reflecting, nurturing our closest relationships, thinking about the world and what society we want, praying. And then thirdly, let's keep reaching out, maybe with those we haven't had contact for some time. This is a great time to renew past friendships. We can send a message, make a phone call. And fourthly, let each of us do something that is nurturing and enjoyable. It's fortuitous that the Olympics are occurring at this time. We need to be alert to our mental well-being. And if we think we are sliding into depression or unhealthy routines, let's reach out to seek some assistance. We don't have to go through this alone. If you found some new ways to keep yourself well and active, let's know, and we can share these with others. Lastly, we need to be vaccinated. Some of us, I know, have reservations about being vaccinated. The Church's understanding and teaching is clear. The vaccines, all of them, that are available to us are moral. It's also our moral responsibility to ensure that we take every means to keep ourselves well and healthy. And further, it's our moral responsibility to ensure that others are kept safe and well. It is our Catholic social responsibility to be vaccinated, to ensure that our entire society can move beyond what is currently crippling us. To make the decision not to be vaccinated is morally a very serious one. Unless there were a specific medical reason, it is our moral duty to be vaccinated and as soon as possible. I've been vaccinated with the AstraZeneca vaccine, awaiting my second dose in the next few weeks. Bishop Anthony is now both doses and is fully vaccinated. Facing the next month, we've had to make some difficult decisions. We've had to suspend the celebration of the Sacrament of Confirmation with Bishop Anthony that had been scheduled for this Saturday, the 31st of July. This has been so hard for our children who have been fully prepared for the celebration. We've also decided to defer our children's preparation for the Sacrament of Reconciliation, which was to have commenced in August. And we've deferred this now until term 1 of 2022. I want to express our deep gratitude to Angela Haig, our Children's Ministry Coordinator, for the extraordinary work she has put into this, and acknowledge her understandable disappointment as events have unfolded. We will need to defer to our celebration of the centenary of the opening of our church, which takes place on the 21st of August. We think, of course, too, of our children and our families who must continue with home-based learning, and our Year 12 students anxiously preparing for their HSC in such difficult circumstances. However, we are thinking through some new ways of connecting online. Already we have an online liturgy at 9 a.m. each Sunday, oriented towards our families. From this weekend, we will also have a second online liturgy at 5:30 p.m. each Sunday, oriented more broadly. For both of these events, the focus is on the gospel of each Sunday. On this Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m., Deacon Aldrin will lead an online parish recollection. On Monday the 2nd of August, I'm speaking online about the difficult topic of euthanasia. And then next Wednesday evening, the 4th of August, Father Joey is inviting all our parish to come together online at 8 p.m. in a special liturgy of prayer in the midst of the pandemic. The details of all these events are posted in our parish bulletin, and they'll be emailed to everyone along with this message and over the weekend as well. As I've shared too, it's so wonderful to see so many of our parish groups continuing to connect online and to see how many of our groups are keeping one another joined through the many different WhatsApp chats that are taking place. Last Tuesday, we buried Shirley Storia. It was very sad that only a few of us could gather to farewell Shirley. She was a great lady, and she'd been part of our parish community for 88 years. She'd been coming to Mass each week until just a few months ago. Especially, she was committed to creating a better society, and her passionate advocacy of many important matters through our parish social justice group enriched our parish immensely. People like Shirley remind us just how important is the power of community. Let our grateful memory of her inspire us to keep together during these challenging weeks ahead.